Hey, what's going on, guys? Avenger, Vastey bringing the review. This time the Mezco 112 Collective Daredevil Netflix Vigilante version. Really small box, but I'm actually pretty excited about that. Usually, Mezco figures have really big boxes and it takes up a lot of space, but this one is pretty small. You can see the box here. It says Daredevil, Netflix down there, some scratches on the side. You can see Gomez there, Daredevil on the side, and this is really cool. Of season 2 of Daredevil. You can see him in his black suit from season 3. This is actually a comic version of Daredevil, which is pretty cool. You can see Kingpin in the city down there. And yeah, let's open this up, give my opinion. So Daredevil doesn't come with too many accessories, but he comes with this interchangeable head. This is the stock head. Kind of got a 5 o'clock shadow. This is more of a neutral head sculpt. And then he comes with this version where it's all bloodied up and his teeth are gritting. This one is really cool. I usually keep this one on there. And he comes with 3 interchangeable hands. Like I said, not a lot, but he comes with this hand where his hands are kind of open. That's for his batons. And then he comes with 2 of these hands where they're kind of neutral, but you can use them at the same time for him throwing an object. I really do like the detail on these. It's very show accurate or film accurate. And he also comes with 2 fists. He comes with his 2 batons. And I like how they look like actual wood. And you can store them in his little holster right here. And he comes with a stand that I'm not going to take out. And he also comes with a base, which is really cool. And these aren't my fingerprints or anything. These are actual like scratches that they intentionally put on there. It says Daredevil. This is really nice. So here's a look at Daredevil himself, and I really like this figure, man. So little story. When I first found out that this figure was being made, I almost crapped my pants, man. I love the Daredevil show, and when he had this costume on throughout the series, I thought it was great. I thought it was fitting for the character. So I wanted it in figure form, and at the time, this was the only figure that we had, the Minimates version. And, you know, it's cool and all, but I wanted an actual 6-inch version of this costume. So Mezco made it, and unfortunately, it was an exclusive to their website. And I'm not a big fan when they do that. Usually people scalp it or put it online at a ridiculous amount of money. So I had no idea how I was going to get it. Originally, I got in a raffle for it. I lost. Not a big fan of raffles in the first place and collectors that raffle off figures. But I did it twice, lost both times. And then a couple months later, I found it on eBay used at a really good price, 90 bucks. So I didn't have to pay too much to get them, but at the same time, I'm not a big fan of, people who raffle stuff off or put them on the secondary market at a ridiculous price. But anyways, this figure is really cool, but I do have quite a few problems with them at the same time. Before we get into the complaints I have with this figure, let's talk about the look, which is probably my favorite part about this figure. So it looks like they basically took Matt Murdock from the show and just brought it onto the figure form, which is great. You can see his eyes kind of, looks like he's wearing an actual like cloth bandana. He's kind of got a 5 o'clock shadow. I do wish that they kind of give him a little more stubble, but it's not that big of a deal. I really like this piece right here. It would have been nice if this was like kind of like it articulated where it can move side to side. I'm kind of afraid of breaking it sometimes. See the red lines here. Very show accurate. Yeah, this as well. He also had that look where he had like the ropes on his hands, so he can punch harder. That was really cool. He's got a belt right there. Got the batons and then the holster for the batons. Really good stuff, man. These pants, they're kind of military style. He did have them tucked in, which I thought was really cool. Punisher did the same thing. Kind of wish they were tucked in a little more, but it's not that big of a deal. And he's got a zipper right there, which is he actually had in the show. It took me a while to actually realize that he had a zipper in the show. It's not a working zipper. It's just a painted online, which is kind of funny. And he's got his boots right here. I think those are the same that Blade had. I didn't get a chance to review that figure, unfortunately, but we'll definitely get to that. But good stuff, man. I really do like the stature of this figure. Just looking at him, this looks very cool. Forgot to mention that he has treads at the bottom of his boots. It's pretty cool. Now, my main gripe besides the 5 o'clock shadow comes with his articulation. The mold is good. He looks, you know, athletic and kind of buff, but at the same time, it's just the body mold that they use for him is just not articulated very well. The lower half is, but the upper half really isn't. So this is called the Joker body mold that Mezco collectors like to use the term of, where you get the head and neck combo where it's together like this, and he has a single jointed elbow. He doesn't have any bicep swivel, so I'm not a big fan of this upper half. He does have torso articulation, but it's not much, so that's a little disappointing. You know, at the same time, I am glad that we have this figure, but I just think that they should have used a different body mold. I know they gave us a different Daredevil, the red version. Maybe they could have used that version instead, but at the same time, they didn't. But we have what we have. Maybe they'll do another version, maybe they won't, but I'm glad to have it either way. What I am a little nervous about is for John Wick. He's coming around January of this year, maybe around my birthday in February or March. I'm nervous that they're going to use this body mold for that figure, and I really don't want that to be the case. Gomez, a lot of collectors are saying that that would be a really good body mold. Maybe Blade, the body mold for Blade, obviously give it to, obviously paint him white because John Wick is white. But yeah, I really don't want them to use this body mold for John Wick. But for Daredevil, I'm going to let it pass because this is the only version of the figure we have, and he's way more articulated than this. So this is a big step up from this, so that's the reason why I'm not too mad about it. But at the same time, for an athletic character, I would have liked more articulation. So a good look at the articulation. Head moves up, moves down, just with the neck and head, and moves side to side, left and right. I do like this. You know, you can get a lot of expressions like that. And it moves back and forth. The arm moves up, no bicep swivel. There's a single joint at the elbow. Not a big fan of this, like I said. And I am a little nervous about this breaking over time. I'm not a big fan of that. And it moves side to side and moves up and down, left and right, swivels, all that good stuff. He has a very slight diaphragm joint, and then he moves at his waist down here. So that's as far down as he can go. It doesn't really move back too far, which is a little disappointing. And it moves side to side. Doesn't really tilt, kind of does. And he has a waist swivel, leg moves forward, back, and out. This is the good part of the figure. I really do like the articulation down here. Swivel the thigh, double joint at the knee. He kind of has a calf swivel, not too much. Foot moves back and forth, and he has a very slight angle pivot. Here is next one, Marvel Legends Daredevil and the Mezco Blade. And I really do like the articulation on this Blade figure. I know he's African American, but at the same time, maybe they might use this body mold for other characters, hopefully for John Wick. Just to get an idea, he has double jointed elbows. He pretty much has the same diaphragm joint as Daredevil, actually. This one moves a little more forward, but the legs are pretty much the same. Boots are a little different, but yeah, these boots are the same as Daredevil's. So yeah, man, despite everything I said, I really do like this figure. What am I going to give him? Maybe a 7.5, an 8. He's a really nice figure. I loved the Daredevil show. It's a shame that it was canceled. Maybe we'll see Daredevil return in the MCU. He's one of my favorite superheroes. But I bought this figure because I'm a collector. I love Daredevil. And I wanted this version of the figure. Maybe you don't want it. That's fine. He's not for everybody. He's kind of hard to find, especially at a good price. Again, I spent $90 and I used a coupon, so that's why I got it at $90. But yeah, he's really cool, but it's not a must-have. But thank you all for watching. Happy New Year. Definitely got a lot of stuff coming. Got my top 10s coming, hopefully this weekend. And yeah, all right, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you later. Peace.